What's going on, chat? Let me make sure this is working. Yeah, something with OBS just happened. Looks like it's good on my end. Yeah, I think we should be good. So yeah. Again, another member stream, and yeah, really just gonna take any questions you got. Do some lineup building. Really good time for any like 2v2s. Some strategy about roster construction, really anything y'all got. So I posted my cores on Yahoo, and I posted on my pools for DK, FanDuel, SuperDraft, and Yahoo. So we can kind of dive into that as well if y'all want to talk about it. And yeah, we can just kind of get into it. So really, good time to ask whatever you want to ask. And I've been looking at Slate since like noon. So yeah, let me know how you do in the chat, and yeah, ask any questions you got. Larry Sign Guy, what's going on? Yeah, welcome in, and but yeah, I guess if no one's got any questions right now, we'll just kind of dive into it. Creed, what's going on, man? How you doing? But yeah, people typically have questions about how to use my pools, and it kind of depends on the contest, right? So this is really GPP focused. So yeah, I kind of go into like who I guess like my top plays of the slate are, and then kind of go into how exactly I would use them. Like okay, yeah, like I'm definitely gonna spend up at tight end. Pretty much there on every site. I just really like the floor better. For Tannehill and DK, I'm really all over Tennessee for tomorrow. So definitely something I like. So Tannehill, you see, he's only projected for 5.5% ownership on DK. So that looks really good to me. I think he's got a really similar ceiling to like Kyler and Mahomes. And he's got a 31% chance to get to that that GPP target score that we need. I took a look at the 25% projections as well. And but yeah. Any questions y'all got in the chat, just drop them. We can dive into it. But yeah. So I cannot show you DK lines. Well, we can kind of go into FanDuel. And yeah, so my quarterbacks on FanDuel, I have Kyler, Tannehill, and Russell Wilson right now. And really, how I started is so we can just kind of like do this from scratch, right? So let's say I want every quarterback that's that's going to start, right? It's not Cam Newton, so we go from Jared Goff and up. That's all the starting quarterbacks. And then we go from there. From there, I go into ratings. So I don't want anybody that's lower than a 90, right? That pretty much signifies to me that with their price tag and projection, that the quarterback looks really good. So we go from there, and then from there I look at ownership and the percentage chance that they're going to get to that target score we need. So from here, Rodgers for me is out, and then I have Trevor Lawrence out. I just don't really see the need to go there. Because if I get to Trevor Lawrence, then I'm probably going to want to get to, like LaVisca or Shark or Marvin Jones. I don't really want to go there. I think there's just better places to go. So I did it there. And then, Mahomes. I get it. If you want to go to Mahomes, I think that's perfectly fine. But, if I can just get, like Tannehill at 4% owned over here, I'm probably going to end up doing that. So yeah, let's go ahead and uncheck Mahomes. Jalen Hurts, I'm kind of on the fence. I can definitely see it if you want to go to Jalen Hurts. But yeah, I don't want Josh Allen. Just again, really just kind of fading the chalk here, and then really a big decision point for me here was Jalen Hurts or Tannehill. I ended up going with the just a lower owned player. I thought it was really close, so I like Tannehill's receivers better, and yeah, that's just where I decided to go. Tola, what's going on? A question about building a pool for wide receivers for 20 max. Okay. He goes on. How many receivers should I have in my pool if I'm only using wide receiver in flex? Okay, I see what you're saying. So, in my crunches, since I'm focused on tournaments, I only had wide receiver checked in flex. So if you want to go ahead and use my stuff, perfectly fine. Definitely available for you. But let's say you wanted to. Let's just say you want to do this from scratch, right? So again, it really depends on the quarterbacks. But let's say we have these 3 quarterbacks, and then something you can do is you can go by rating. So let's just check all these guys in. I think for this slate, 20 and above is a good rating threshold. And then for run backs, I had to make a couple changes. So I had to add Rondale Moore, Michael Pittman. Don't know why Michael Pittman has a rating of 0, but he's definitely in play for me. So, I mean, that gives you how many? It gives you 47 receivers. And then in my crunches, I ended up getting... I guess we can just do it this way. We can just do... How many receivers I ended up getting to? I ended up getting to... How many is that? I got to 18 receivers, and that's with crunching 150. So, yeah, let's say we just crunch out 20. And I actually got to get those guys back in there. So let's just get that real quick. Go 20 and above. Get these guys back in. And let's say we want to crunch for 20. Okay, so we can... Let's just say let's say we're going by 25%. Let's do 10 like that, and then we change this to 2 just to have, I guess, different roster construction, and then we add 10. So that left me with how many receivers? Probably pretty close. I ended up with. And with 14 on FanDuel 20 max. So I think that's a solid number to go to. Let's see, Chris, haven't looked at FanDuel at all yet. How's the pricing compared to DK? I mean, it's different. See if we can find some differentiation here. So quarterback. I mean, pretty similar. I guess the gap towards Mahomes is a little bit smaller, I think. We could look at DK. It's a $500 gap for Mahomes. Yeah, I mean it's a little bit smaller over here. Let's see. Jalen Hurts is definitely priced up a little bit. Yeah, anyone else really stand out? I know McCaffrey is much more expensive. I'm not really getting to McCaffrey over here. See anything else that stands out? Chris Carson is more expensive over here. James Robinson is really cheap. I really like James Robinson for sure. Let's see. Toller, okay, thanks. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Sign guy in your super draft pool. You have 2 wide receivers for each of the 3 quarterbacks. Are you stacking 3 with all 3 with a bring back GPP or less with the rushing upside? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, so if you don't know what he's referring to, we go over here to my pool and go to Super Draft. And I have some notes in here. So it's a quarterback basis for me. So I think Kyler and Hurts, you don't need to. I'm perfectly fine with Kyler and Hopkins, or I think I prefer Hurts with Devontae Smith. I think Tannehill, since he's less of a runner, I would probably want both Julio Jones and AJ Brown, but you might be able to get away with just one of those guys. And I mean, really, even if you want to go with Derrick Henry with Tannehill and one of the receivers, that might work as well. It's a really high total game. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not forcing to with Hurts and Murray. I'm not sure if I can show you lineups, but yeah, I don't really feel the need to force it at all. I think if you're playing, like the really big contests, it might be smart to go with, some different stacks. Like say you go like half your Kyler lineups with just one of the receivers, and then the other half with two. I think that makes sense in MME. But if you're in one of those, small like 100 mans, I wouldn't really force two guys. So it really depends on the contest and the specific quarterback, for sure. Yeah, let's go back over to FanDuel. Let's see. So yeah, you see some thumbs for like Chris Carson. I mean, Chris Carson's really, I think he's got a decent floor. He's pretty low owned as well, so I wanted more Chris Carson. And I really like Joe Mixon, his price point and his ownership over here on FanDuel as well. I think it looks really good. Let's see, Larry, can you go over what some of the columns you imported from the Study Hub? Right, yeah. Okay, yeah. So so in DK, so you'll see here I have okay, so the rating, that comes in the projections. We can go back over here to Study Hub. I'm going to refresh because it's been a minute. But yeah, so you see rating over here. That is CG's formula for, I guess, like how much the play stands out. And then so 3x plus 7. CG just said in Discord, but this is like a GPP target score, and this is the percentage that they're going to hit. So I definitely use that to I guess trim the pool and take a look at who really stands out. And then the 25, you go over to the range of outcomes. And so DK25, this is the score that they're going to hit 25% of the time. So, I mean, that's kind of assuming, like Mahomes has like a ceiling game, he's going to get 34.03 points, right? So, I mean, you do largest, smallest over here. Little trick, you go to filter, and we go take out the blanks, hit OK, and you should be back in there. And then you want to trim it to this slate. So we do that, and that. And let's say you want to look at, let's say running backs. So you can look at it like that. It's already filtered, and you can see which guys have the, I guess, a higher ceiling. Now, obviously, not all these guys are going to score this much, right? That'd be insane. But I like this for like 1v1s. Like if I'm deciding between, like Aaron Jones and Jonathan Taylor, right? I can see that Aaron Jones has the slight edge in the in his ceiling. So that's something I like to look at. Yeah, CJ just explained it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's not exact, but it's a good baseline. Let's see, Jay Zell thoughts on Mostert. Getting him a lot on FanDuel. So Mostert, yeah, Mostert's pretty popular on FanDuel. I mean, okay, so the Niners are going to score, or they have a 27-point total, and it's likely that that Detroit doesn't necessarily keep up with them. So let's say that they get, they get ahead early. Yeah, it's an 8-point spread. Jesus. So yeah, let's say the Niners get ahead big early. It's likely that they'll run the ball a lot in the second half, and it's probably kind of like a mixed bag of who's going to get the carries. But if we look at their running backs, so it's really Sermon and Mostert, and yeah, I mean you can see here in that target score we've been talking about, it's pretty close. So So yeah, if you want to kind of go there and just make that pivot, I think that makes sense. But I'm not necessarily targeting either of them. I just think there's other ways to go, but I think there is a path where Mostert does make sense, but I didn't really get him at all. So I mean, Mostert, you're really depending on the big play, and I don't know. At that ownership, I would rather just have more James Robinson. I think the his carries and targets are more secure. Um, yeah, CG. That makes a lot of sense. That is a pretty popular build this week. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we can kind of look at some of these lineups. So let's see in the 150. Okay, I'll tell you what we can do. We can just make. Let's just make 10 CMC lineups, and we see how that looks. Yeah, I can only get 3 for some reason. So yeah, I mean, you see, even in these 3, you get McCaffrey and Robinson. That's definitely, get McCaffrey and then kind of punt. Same here with Sermon. So that's going to be a lot of lines you're going to see. So yeah, I mean, in the builds that I had earlier, I wasn't really getting to a whole lot of McCaffrey, Henry. The one I got to the most was Kamara, and even there, he's like $2,000 cheaper. So I'm definitely fine with getting to Kamara. I don't even mind Chase Edmonds either. In the games where Arizona has scored a lot, he's definitely been involved. So I definitely don't mind getting to Chase Edmonds either, if you want to go there. Let's see. Mark, for DK20 Max, are you only using Allen, Tannehill, and Russ in the QB pool? Yeah, I'm only going with 3 quarterbacks there. I want to be a little bit aggressive, and yeah, I would rather just have however many shots that is between the 3 of them. If you want to go like, say you want like 12 Tannehills and you go 4 and 4, I think that makes sense. But yeah, it's definitely an aggressive approach. But yeah, I'm only going with those 3 quarterbacks for 20 max. Let's see. Toller, I'm having a hard time getting to 4 to 5 QBs in my builds. Okay, so yeah, you're saying you're just having a tough time trimming your pool? Is that what you're saying? Because a way I looked at it is, see, we can do this for FanDuel. Something I looked at here was, okay, let's go back to higher rated quarterbacks. And we got everyone over 90. Okay, and then you can even do this. You can go 100 and then you divide it between them. And then I did this. Let's say we do 100. Let's say FanDuel 25% for those ceilings. I'm only getting 5. Hold on. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's because this is so trimmed down. Let's just go full wide receiver pool just for the example. And then we get 100 of those. And this is just like a raw initial crunch thing that I like to do. And then just to get a differentiation in the builds, I do that. And they get 100. So this is a mix of QB, 2 wide receiver, and a run back. And then QB with 1 wide receiver and a run back. Just to get an idea of what those builds look like. And then once that's done crunching, I look at each individual quarterback. So we can do that here. So let's say I want to look at the Jacksonville lineups. And okay, so I'm seeing. Let's see. Let's do that. Okay, so this is an example of something I don't want. I don't want James Robinson, Marvin Jones, and the Jags defense in there. So we can just stick a limit on here really quick and then just rerun it. One player, unless you have the quarterback. And then we just rerun it. So yeah, definitely look for those mistakes in initial crunches so you can clean it up for once you get to the final stuff. Another thing for tomorrow, make sure you're ready for some injury news. So like if there's some update like Christian McCaffrey's out, just be ready. So I take this off, put that on, and then we add 100. And then we can look at the individual quarterbacks. Let's see. Toller, I like what Donut said about picking QBs by salary for different types of roster construction. Yeah, that definitely makes sense, and we can look at that here. So, yeah, because I'm pretty sure... see, yeah, like an example here would be... like Allen versus Trevor Lawrence. So let's take a look at Josh Allen lineups. And we have it filtered by that. And so you can see here with Josh Allen, definitely paying down at running back in the optimal one. But, I mean, even you're getting to Devontae and Travis Kelce there. And then... kind of go down to Gabriel Davis if you want Derrick Henry. So I just kind of run through and see if I like the builds. And I mean, yeah. So I guess here, do I really want Gabriel Davis and Rondale Moore at wide receiver? I'm not really sure. So that's definitely something to think about. Let's see, what's another one here. Get Lockett here. Get a lot of Gabriel Davis. And notice at the top of these. Let's see. Is there any player here that really stands out? Way too much Claypool for my liking. I definitely want a more even split there. Let's see. Got it from a split. A lot of Falcons and Jags D. Okay, but I mean, you see those builds. We're paying up for Josh Allen. We got to pay down at running back for one spot. And then I'm forcing to pay up at tight end, so that's just always going to be pay up. And then we're getting, 1 to 2 lower price wide receivers. So like Pascal and Rondale Moore right here. So we can look at Trevor Lawrence lineups, and so I mean this is probably just going to force Brandon Cooks, I'm assuming. Yeah, it's forcing Brandon Cooks a lot. So that's definitely something I would clean up if I were to run this. But yeah, I mean the stack itself, Trevor Lawrence to Jones, Chark, and then Cooks coming back, that's going to leave you with a lot of salary. So, we're getting Kamara, and we're going up to Mike Davis from James Robinson because we're not allowing James Robinson in this build. But we are getting, Diggs, Kelce, and Kamara in here. Let's see. Get Mixon and Derrick Henry with Kelce and Diggs here. That's some solid upside if this ends up hitting, for sure. We get Aaron Jones and Kamara. So, I mean, it's definitely different types of roster construction rather than paying down at 1 to 2 running back spots. Get Dalvin Cook and Joe Mixon. A little secondary stack here just naturally. But, I mean, if you're going to run this type of build, I think Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones is a solid duo there. I mean, you get Kelce and Ridley too. That's pretty solid. Let's see. let's see here. Mark, with the 3 QB approach, 3-man stack or 4-man stack or variant, again in 20 max. Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's up to you. So if you do want to vary it, you can do this. So let's get our 3 quarterbacks. Taylor Wilson. We go there, and then so let's say I want to go 60 20 20, right, for 20 max. And then I go crunch 10 with the current rules, and I can only get 3. Wonder why that is. Can only get 3. Anything I can do here? Why can I only get 3? Yeah, something you're gonna run into on FC. Maybe it's something in groups that I'm forcing. I should have everyone checked here. 50%. Okay, so I may have to raise this cap for Arizona receivers. Maybe not. Let's see. Maybe it's the Tennessee side. Got that up there. Let's try. Go less uniques. Still only 3, huh? All right, well, I mean, this is definitely going to happen. This is another thing you don't want to run into. If you know you're like an hour away from lock, that's going to be very stressful. Definitely get all this out of the way tonight. So what could I be doing wrong here? 60, 20, 20. Maybe I got to raise that. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So yeah, I got 10 there, and then I want to differentiate with the other 10. So I only want 1. Just give me different stack types. No, I don't want 12. I want 10. Right. So yeah, so I got 12 Kyler lineups, and then 5 Russell Wilson, and then 3 Ryan Tannehills. And so, I mean, you can look at it this way. And yeah, I mean, if you are, trying to differentiate, but you want to keep the same quarterbacks, I think this definitely makes sense. Yeah, I don't want Josh Reynolds, but just for the example, I think that is a good way to go about it. Let's see. Larry, I think it depends on GPP size. Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense. Let's see. Steven, is there a quick way to select lineups to export rather than clicking one by one, i.e. crunch 500 lines and sort by a top 150? Okay, yeah, I mean... So, I mean, yeah, you can definitely do that. So let's just say crunch in 500 lines, right? And then we just do that. Really easy way to filter that if you just want to just blindly, not blindly, but just easily get the top 150. Larry, with FanDuel being touchdown heavy, I'm doing 75-ish% 4-man stacks, 25% 3-man for the Millie Maker. Thoughts? Yeah, I think if you run those big of a stacks, it is less to have to get right. Like say your game stack hits, then there's just less spots in your lineup to have to be correct, and Yeah, I mean, however you want to split it there, you just, I guess, really the goal is differentiation, and then, yeah, I mean, however you want to slice that, I think is a fine way to go about it. I don't really know the magic number for that kind of a thing. Let's see if we go over to the other country, goes faster, a little bit faster. Let's see, Creed, where can I find most of the money is going on Vegas lines? Oh, that is a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. You're going to have to research that. I do not know for sure of a good source to recommend, but I'm sure if you research it, then you can find something for sure. Oh yeah, for all y'all that are like the small baller type, I would definitely play on Yahoo since they added that. They're limiting the really sharp players that have won a lot on Yahoo before. So there's like no veteran contests on there, so I would definitely attack those because it's. I mean, odds are those should be much softer. Um, yeah, assuming those guys don't have their wives playing for them. So, um, but yeah, yeah, I would definitely play on Yahoo, and of course, it got Yahoo content. So, um, yeah, if you wanna dive into Yahoo, definitely on there. And yeah, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button. Just kind of shows that you're liking the streams. And I am 2 subs away from 50 subs. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, feel free, and I'll be posting videos all season. So okay, so I mean that's probably good enough for the crunch. So we can go and stop that. And then easy way, say you want to go top 50 my projected, you sort my projected, and then you kind of gotta guess. Let's go here. That's 227. So I want to scroll up, unselect below. What's the number? 183. Gotta keep going up. Kind of guesswork here, but 156. So I just gotta do 2 more full rows, and then boom, I have the top 150. So that's yeah, that's a really easy way to do that if you want to do that. Let's see. Eric, good stuff. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, man. Creed, okay, thanks. Creed, what's the strategy difference between FanDuel and Yahoo? It seems very similar. Yeah, I treat it very similar. It's just different pricing, right? So like over here, let's just check everybody. So like over here, if we go by salary, Mahomes is $40. Let's just get Deshaun Watson out of there. So I definitely got a 6 out over here. Here's Jalen Hurts at $26. And this 25 column, I just exported that from the Study Hub for FanDuel 25. But yeah, it's just really just different pricing. McCaffrey's 34, Dalvin's 38 at only 11%. So I mean, Dalvin looks really good to me. There's a few guys here that stick out, like where's he at? Like DeAndre Swift at only $17 definitely sticks out. That's a really good value. I mean, Kareem Hunt, if you think he's going to get a lot of receptions, that's not a bad idea. I like Chase Edmonds at $17. Mike Davis looks good too. Clyde Edwards-Helaire made in my pool just because he's so cheap in a high total game. But yeah, I think in terms of roster construction, it's fairly similar. Steven, Tua so cheap. Tua. Where is Tua? I know this is Yahoo, but $20 on Yahoo is not bad. I really don't like their low total though. I just think there's better ways to go. Like on FanDuel, we can look at it. All it's two at on FanDuel 6,600. That's pretty cheap. His rating's not bad either. But I don't really have that much faith in Tua to be a top scorer quarterback right now, especially at New England with a 20-point total. Just not really somebody I'm looking to. But I mean, if you want to go there, like a really large MMA tournament, I don't blame you at all. Yeah, I'm actually not on any Dolphins. I really don't know what to make of their offense. But if you do run Miami, yeah, definitely Parker and Waddle make a lot of sense, and Kasicki at tight end is certainly fine too. Ryan missed the beginning of the stream. What is FanDuel 25? Okay, so you go over here to Study Hub, and we're in range of outcomes. And FanDuel 25 is the 25% projection. So that's basically, just like seeing who has the higher ceiling, pretty much. Yeah, Eric, I think it's range of outcomes. It is. You see, I mean, it really just gets you away from the median projection, and then just shows you, how it looks if things go right. So, let's see. Okay, yeah. So I mean, even like Devontae Parker versus Waddle, you see the median projection right here. And then, we can see here that Parker does have like a 1-point advantage over Waddle in that 25% outcome. Steven was only looking on Yahoo for them. Let's take a look at Miami while we're here. Why not? They definitely did not show for me at all in my crunches. But we can take a look at them. I think, yeah, if you're in a large tournament, they're definitely low owned, but again, the low total I don't like. But, Waddle, there's a lot of value here, too. Even if you don't want Myles Gaskin and you just want to get the passing game, you just want Tua, Parker, Waddle, Gesicki, and they just want to go from there. I mean, that's a really, really cheap stack. So, yeah, I mean, like comparing it to like KC, you got Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey all really expensive over here. So, gotcha. Thanks. How's FanDuel 25 work for rookies? That's probably more of a CG question. These are just percentile projections. So, yeah, I would definitely ask CG that question in Discord. But yeah, these are just percentile projections. I don't necessarily have the best answer for you. So yeah, I would definitely ask CG. But again, yeah, this really shows their ceiling. But yeah, for like specific stuff like that, I would lean on CG. So okay, Larry, can you talk about Parquez Chalkaway? I plan on being underweight, only playing him if I use Jameis. Yeah, so I did not get any Callaway on FanDuel. DK. Did I get Callaway on DK? I got a good bit of Callaway on DK just because he's so cheap. But I mean, there's definitely other ways to go. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, if you just want to make like a one-off pivot, I think Rondale Moore makes sense. Other cheap guys, going up to T. Higgins, had him as a priority in the DK sheet. But yeah, if I don't need Callaway, I'm not going to get there. Even Elijah Moore makes sense too. If you want to, stay in that price range. Ryan, thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, I mean that's what these streams are for. So any questions y'all got, just put them in the chat, and we'll talk about it. Any sort of strategy for DK, FanDuel, SuperDraft, or Yahoo. Just drop it in the chat. So Yeah, Super Draft. So big thing on Super Draft is we don't have ownership. So yeah, the way I trim my pool down is we just go here, and then I wanted. Okay, so yeah, we got to do starting quarterbacks again. So yeah, we got everyone over 20. Okay, and I'm pretty sure if you have a Super Draft account, you should have a couple tickets in there. But okay, yeah. So we go. I went by Vegas points, and I did everyone under 24 points for the total. So we unchecked there, and then I looked at projections. So I take out Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Mahomes at 1x. I took him out. Who else did I have? Jalen Hurts. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I made an exception for Jalen Hurts because he does have elite rushing upside at 135x. So, I mean, that definitely makes sense. So, I mean, if Jalen Hurts is running the ball, for like a 7 to 10 point floor, I think that he's definitely a guy I want. So yeah, so from here, just looking at the projections. Russell Wilson at 1.2x. I can do better than that. Jimmy Garoppolo, don't really like that. Baker Mayfield, not really there. Matt Ryan at 135 is okay. I don't really like a second option for him. So, I mean, Calvin really looks good. Do I want Kyle Pitts over Travis Kelce or George Kittle? I think my answer right now is no. So I just don't want Matt Ryan. And then from here, okay, so the top overall projected quarterback is Trevor Lawrence, and in playing Super Draft, that means to me that he is going to be chalk. So I uncheck him. And then Sam Darnold, I'm not really there. I just think there's a higher probability that Kyler Murray and Ryan Tannehill outscore Sam Darnold because I remember again these are median projections, and I really see that Murray and Tannehill have a higher upside than Sam Darnold. But the Panthers receivers they do have high multipliers on Super Draft, so I think that does make sense if you want to go there. But for me, I just unchecked Sam Darnold, and a big decision to make here. So my top two at this point were Tannehill and Hurts. So I was really deciding between Murray and Allen, and I went with Murray for the rushing upside. And that's how I got my 3 Super Draft quarterbacks. Let's see, Eric. Good rule for Callaway since he's such chalk might be to say if Callaway is in the lineup, must include Jameis or Rodgers. Yeah, even if you wanted to, have him in like a secondary stack, like if you want to make a group, let's see, we can do it in here. Actually, no, we can't. Let's do it in FanDuel, make a group, and let's just say, this is Callaway, and then we do Callaway. Him, key him in, and then let's say we want Devontae. Boom, yeah, and then if you do that, you can get Callaway in every single. Well, we're not gonna get him here because I guess lock him in. Callaway, lock him in, and then from there I would have to put Devontae at 100 because I have that group. Yeah, so for every Callaway lineup, I'm going to have Devontae Adams if you want to do it that way. Let's see. 20 max on DK, 100K people versus like the ones that come out an hour for lock. Yeah, so obviously, if you reserve contests tonight, you're going to see some massive stuff. But, typically DK about an hour for lock. They come out with like secondary contests is like the same thing, but it's just smaller stuff. So yeah, if you're definitely looking to hunt smaller contests, that's the way to do it. But if you're not necessarily concerned about that, I think you're probably fine just reserving now. Let's see, Steven, for my projections on Super Draft, are those points after the multiplier? Yeah, so yeah, it's coming from the Study Hub. It's also in the projections page too, but so it's this column right here, and these are already multiplied by this column. So yeah, so yeah, like Joe Mixon, his you take his median projection, you multiply one by 1.4, you get this 21.12. So it's already done for you. So when you do crunch in FC, make sure you use my projections. All right. Okay, guys. Yeah, so I probably got about 15 more minutes. So yeah, if you got any questions, just feel free to put them in the chat. And yeah, make sure you like the video. So lets me know that you like the stream. And yeah, but keep going. Tola, I guess what I meant to ask was, what's the difference in the way you build? Okay. So I guess it really depends on, like if that secondary contest you get into is like, is it like 1 to 3,000 people, or is it, like going from like 30,000 to 10,000? Because so okay, so like Josh Allen, would I want to run him in a 1,000 or 100,000 person contest? Maybe not. I might go to a lower owned option. So like, let's see, we could go with, like Joe Burrow's really cheap. He could go there. He's not getting a lot of ownership at all, and that game could definitely end up being a shootout. So I think Joe Burrow's definitely a good large field option for sure. So I mean, that's just kind of changes you got to make for that. And but yeah, the ones that I put in my pool are not it's not really geared for those ginormous contests, right? It's more or less geared to I guess like the smaller ones, but it's not necessarily like only like 100 mans. So but yeah, if you are running like a 20 max in those huge contests, I would definitely stray away from Josh Allen and then go, like Trevor Lawrence is fine. We know Ryan Fitzpatrick has upside and solid receiving options, so that could be a play. But you may just have to get more contrarian. But yeah, it's just a different approach, really. All right, let's see. All right. Yeah, guys, yeah, make sure if you have any questions, make sure you just pop them in the chat. And yeah, we will just keep plugging along here. So again, my content is I have Yahoo cores, and then of course we got other coaches on FanDuel and DraftKings as well. Everything should be ready to go by tomorrow morning. So we don't see CG cores right now, but that'll be ready. So yeah, and then so for the picks and pool, if you do want to like download it, you can definitely do that. And you just toss these into FC. Like say you want to see like who my priorities are. We can do it like this. Let's do it on FanDuel. We can download it, go over here to FanDuel, upload file, picks and pool, go skip all. We got player name and then priority, new column, boom, it's in there. And then we can go over here and see who the priorities are. And then from there you can do like thumbs or, really whatever you want. So I'm gonna take Gonna take that off because I don't want that. Boom. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you pop them in the chat, and let's run a FanDuel 150. So I already got my quarterbacks. Let's say I want a fourth. So I'll probably say my number 4 would be Hertz right now. But you know, like say you're running like the nickel on FanDuel, that you may want somebody that's a bit lower owned. Let's say Trevor Lawrence, because I think he does have solid upside, and 35% chance to hit that GPP's target score. So let's make a group for Trevor Lawrence. It's gonna delete that, and then we're gonna do it just Jacksonville. And then we find Jacksonville, key in Trevor Lawrence. Then we got Visca, Marvin Jones, and Chark. And then they're playing Houston, and I want to run back. I think I really only want Cooks and Collins there. Probably prefer Collins because he's cheaper, but Brandon Cooks is definitely, I guess, the better... has a higher ceiling, most likely, right now. Okay, I think everything should be good to go except for Callaway. And then Devontae. Need to put him back at 50. So, yeah, so let's run 75 like this to get some differentiation. And then let's run another 75 with a bigger stack. And then we go right here. Oh, I still have those exposure caps. So let's just do that. Let me rerun it. Okay. Go 1. Nope. We go 1 and run again. Larry, in 150s, how many QBs do you generally use? I would say 3 to 4 is how aggressive I go. Because I would rather have like let's say Tannehill really goes off at 4.7%. I would rather just have more shots at Tannehill if I'm gonna take my stand there. I'm not really one to have just like 10 shares of Mahomes, and then if Mahomes goes off, I only have 10 shots at it. So yeah, I think 3 to 4 is definitely how I prefer to go with it. Let's see, Reactor, what's the best way to use Fancy Cruncher for single entry? Okay. So you want to run a single entry. How you can do is this. So yeah, let's assume you want to stack, and you pick Kyler Murray as your quarterback. I mean, really, it can be easy as, you want to go by FanDuel rating. You crunch one, and you go. And then, you can make adjustments from there. Like, say you don't want Aaron Jones, you pick another running back, and then you crunch. So let's say you want to go with, let's see. Let's say you really like Najee Harris for some reason, right? And boom. You just crunch. That's pretty much it. I mean, I prefer to keep that really simple. I don't think you have to crunch like 10 and then hand pick it. I'll rather just go with that. So, but I mean, yeah, in this lineup you have Kyler with DeAndre and H. Brown coming back. And then T. Higgins and Claypool, really solid options there. James Robinson is a priority for me. Aaron Jones looks really good in a high total game. So, let's see. Okay, Mark. What got you to target quarterbacks? Okay, so how I choose the quarterbacks I use. Okay, so yes, we can run through this on FanDuel again. So I start with all the starters. So it is Goff and up. Okay. And again, we really want to focus on building to the contest too, because like obviously like Josh Allen may be better in a 100-man contest than a 100,000-man contest. So something to think about. And then I went by rating, and I went 90 and above. It gave me a nice pool of quarterbacks. So I'll go from there, and then, okay, so I look at this target score percentage. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's lagging behind. Everyone else is in 30%. And then I didn't want Josh Allen because he's popular. I didn't want Mahomes, same reason. So I can be a little bit more contrarian. And then from here, it was Trevor Lawrence looks okay. Jalen Hurts. That decision to make. My next X out here was Trevor Lawrence, and then it was between, I believe, Tannehill and Jalen Hurts. I just feel like Tannehill lower owned and probably a similar ceiling to Jalen Hurts, so I just went ahead and did that. And so I got my 3. For cash, do you crunch optimal with no settings? Okay, so we can run through cash real quick. Yeah, let's say we got no stacking rules, and then we disable all groups. Right, and a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to have to reset likes and dislikes too. We can just leave it on, because do I want to go back and do that? Okay, so cash, yeah, let's just run like a straight optimal, see how it looks. And then, so yeah, a couple things stick out here. Do I want LaVisca in my cash lineup? I'm not sure. I don't mind running LaVisca and James Robinson in the same lineup because, in cash, you're just trying to get some of that offense. And, even if, like, say LaVisca doesn't really do anything and James Robinson gets all the work, you're probably fine in cash. Yeah, so something I'll probably change here is I would rather have one of the spend-up running backs. And I think, yeah, the thumbs may have come into play here. So let's say I want, for sure... Let's say Dalvin Cook because he's the highest rated. Then I crunched that again, and yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty good way to do it. I may not want the Bills D here, so I just do that crunch, and then I think this is fine for cash. Aaron, fix your flex. Thank you, sir. Yes, we fixed running back to flex. And then, boom. Yeah, this may not be the exact cash line, but, it's definitely, I guess, like, the process, right? So, yeah, that's something to think about for sure. There's probably only a couple minutes left here, guys. If you got any last-second questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If not, then we are going to bounce. Yeah, guys, the plan is to do these streams every Saturday, and then for Showdown, I'm going to do it Monday and Thursday like I did on Thursday. So, yeah, definitely going to be doing these types of streams every Saturday, and then, yeah, it's kind of go from there. I'm going to have videos during the week as well, just kind of going over, the tools and how they look. Toller, thanks for the stream. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, anytime I can give back to y'all doing this, that's just fantastic. I love seeing y'all win. So, trying to get us all in the green. So yeah, if no one's got any other questions, I'm gonna be getting out of here. So, yeah, Steven, thank you. Have a good night. Yeah, man, you too. I'll catch you on Discord. Yeah, like I said, my content is up and ready to go. So if you want to check it out, got any questions for me, make sure you just hit me up in Discord. I will definitely be sure to answer that. Sign guide, thanks, Team A. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I will. I'll see you on Discord, and hopefully we'll all get in the green on Sunday. So yeah, I will see you on Discord.